Hey guys, it's Saf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Now, I'm a day late getting this video out because there's been a massive storm in the UK on Friday, the weekend that has just passed, and I have not had any internet for the last 3 or 4 days, about very, very small amounts of mobile data. So I've been fighting against the darkness that is no internet, and I haven't had the opportunity to be able to record and upload a video. But of course, there is so much going on right now in Raid Shadow Legends that I can't just sit here and not do any content on this thing. So obviously we've got the whole Chimera clan boss system, but I wanted to just do a quick video on this Path of Power event that has dropped right now. Might be of interest to some people if they picked up He-Man. So they were giving us an opportunity to get a He-Man soul 5-star. Again, whenever you see stars with damage dealers, it's the 4-star that you're looking at more than anything else. Whilst the 5-star might be good for something like Nature's Wrath if you do debuffs, if you don't do debuffs, you're not too concerned about a 5-star. 6-star, different question altogether, but the 5-star here is not always worth it. The one I'm really looking to get is the 4-star because that's where you get your critical damage. 38% critical damage is a huge amount for a damage dealer. There's also opportunities to get a sort of Eternal Soul Stone, and then we have some avatar frames here. So we've sort of got a Skeletor avatar frame, and then we've got a He-Man avatar frame if that is something you're looking for. And then for everyone who's chasing the Sir Nicholas Titan event, you might need to pick up some snow points here. We can afford to lose some points. Now, they're doing a little bit like they did last year with Tormin, where effectively they're giving us 500 for free, and then you can lose, I think, about 500 in total. Now, the free points is kind of like, I said this last year, the free points is a bit of a, you feel like you're getting something, but you're actually not, because effectively all they did was elevate the base points. Normally a Titan event's about 1,500 points. They lifted it to 2,000 and gave you 500. So you're not really getting anything for free other than the first 500 points if you didn't want to do the events. If you want the soul, you're still going to have to do exactly the same amount of work as you did before. There's not much difference there. In this instance, if you want Sir Nicholas. Now, I don't actually have Sir Nicholas, so I kind of am going for him. But I will say, it's not like you can't get Sir Nicholas from the token trader. So yes, it's very expensive, but it's not the end of the world if you decide not to push all your resources for it, if you don't want to get him here, essentially. As usual with all this Titan event, we get some bonus rewards along the way. There is quite a cool little festive avatar frame. I'm a big fan of avatar frames because I just think it adds personality to your account, gives you something a bit cool and unique that people will go, oh, I wonder where you got that frame from, right? It gives you that kind of vibe to it. So yeah, so it's a pretty straightforward path. You kind of have to pick one or the other. If you pick both, it's very expensive. You're kind of going for the stones and the sort of the soul system, or you're going for the He-Man soul. Most people are either going to be doing this, I'd imagine, to either get just snow points if they're not interested in He-Man, or to try and get a 4 or a 5-star He-Man soul. It is a champion summoning, so it's a summon rush, so you need to use the type of shard, not what champion you get. So you can't buy He-Man to get yourself some extra points, that doesn't work. And a Dungeon Divers event. Now, the path is pretty restrictive. The only real choice you've got is whether or not you go down the left side, but I mean, that's not really a choice if you want the soul. It's just this middle row here, and I would say probably the Mortal Soul coins or the Mythical Charms are going to be the most value. I would say if you're not doing Cintrano's hard, probably the Mythical Charms are the most valuable resource here. So I always do these path breakdowns. I'll put it in the pinned comment and in the linked in the description, so you can access this if you want to see it. I pull out all of the different stuff, all the different rewards, the costs, and then I basically create some paths that I think players will want to chase, want to go down. So what I've constructed here is about 4 different paths. I've basically said, if I just want the snow points that I want for the Titan event, how many points is that going to be? If I just want the 4-star He-Man soul, if I want the 5-star, and then if I want to be greedy and I want the 4-star and all the snow points, how much is that going to cost? So these are the different point breaks here. It's about 30,500 for snow, 39,000 for the star, for the 4-star, 74,000 for the 5-star. Like I said, you know, if you're, I don't really think a 5-star is like that make or break for him. 6-star would be. A 5-star is just going to give you a slightly, you know, it's going to give you more accuracy and defense and resistance. You don't really need that. He doesn't really do any debuffs, so you can't really take advantage of Nature's Wrath. Yes, you could use a stronger Heaven cast, but it's probably not worth it for the amount of investment you need to do, right? You're almost near enough doubling the points just to get a 5-star. It's probably not worth it. The snow points, though, would be probably worth it, because if this has 210, you can only really lose 500 points. So if you lose everything from this event, you're pretty much sacrificing all of the snow points for the next time round. So let's first look at the summoning. It's no point difference. Sometimes they will modify how much you get per shard. It's pretty much standard. Primals generally are the most cost efficient way to do it if you're buying shards. If you want to buy your way to the success here, primals are the cost efficient way to do it, just because a primal is roughly around $5. So you get the best bang for your buck when it comes to that kind of point, if you want to do it that way. Still very expensive, but it's the most cost-effective way to do it, rather than sacreds, which are more like $20 a point. So you're going to need somewhere in the region of 7 sacreds for you to get all your snow points. It's about 8 to, well, it's about 9 for the 4-star. So 9 sacreds for the 4-star, and that's like 17 primals, 22 for this. If you want all the 4-star and the snow points, you're looking at about 12 sacred shards, 30 primals in total. Now, in terms of dungeon divers, again, they haven't modified the points. These are pretty much the same. The way we do this is we basically take the probability of you getting each type of rank and rarity. We multiply it then with these points, and then we work out how many points per run you effectively get on average. So, for example, on average, you will get around about 34 for a stage 10 hard. The higher the difficulty, the better the drop rates. But with a higher difficulty also comes higher energy costs. So what we invariably determine is, even though you get more points per run at 10 hard, when you start adding the additional runs by having more energy per sort of refill, you're effectively moving back down towards stage 20 being more efficient, which is what we're seeing here, right? We might get about 3.5 more points per run, but actually when we can run extra runs, we're going to get, you know, what is it, 0.21, maybe 0.31, well, 0.21 here more per refill, essentially, per energy. So it's much better to run stage 20 is what we work out here. So then we can plug it all together and we can do some comparisons here, and we can see, okay, if all of these numbers are going to run through for dungeons, if I didn't want to summon a single shard, how much dungeon divers am I going to have to do? Well, you want to do it stage 20. You can technically do it at stage 16. It is slightly more energy efficient, but it requires substantial more runs and you get poorer gear. I would say stage 20 is always the golden break point. In terms of what we're looking at here, you know, you're going to have to do about 1,000 runs to get your snow points. That's about 1,500, sort of 1,500 energy. Or if you want the 4-star and the snow points, it's 2,700. If you want just the 4-star He-Man, it's about 20,000 energy. That's quite a lot. Most people will not have the capacity to do that. You might be looking to get a lot of silver. There's a spider tournament on. Maybe you do the spider tournament and get a lot of silver at the same time. The real point of this is you're meant to summon shards and then offset it with a bit of dungeon divers for the tournaments you need to do for the other snow points. So, you know, this is what this calculator is going to do here. So if you want to get the 4-star and snow points and you use 2 sacreds, 6 voids, then it's going to tell you, okay, now that you've done that, you still need to do another 1,280 runs at 20,480 energy, right? Even with that offset. So that's what you need to decide. I mean, it could be you're just trying to get the snow points. Okay, well, if I did this, how much would I need? Well, now I only need 544 runs at 8,000 energy. So that's what you can use this tool for. So that's why I put this in the description. You can use this for your own purposes. Make a copy of it when you get it from the Google Sheet and basically be able to make a copy and then use this calculator to work out, okay, if I'm using shards, how much energy would I need to do? And you can make that decision. Normally, I like to get this out the day of the path, but due to internet connectivity issues, I haven't been able to. So better late than never on this one. And this one in particular, I think, is interesting. Now, I have been getting some points for this. In the short term, I absolutely figured I would pick up some extra snow points. I am planning at some point to pick up He-Man because, you know, I'm a content creator and it makes sense for me to do so. Because he is kind of cool. I want to make a video. It's like the hardest hitting He-Man video we can possibly get. See how much fun we can have with that. But I'm waiting for a champion chase. That's the nice thing about this path, this pass thing. You got 6 weeks if you did want to get him. You don't have to make the decision straight away. You're not forced to. You can wait until there's a champion chase for a fusion, or wait until there's a champion chase for a specific moment in time that you need that extra 500 points for. It will absolutely count. So that's what I'm waiting for. I've also finished up Morag's points here. So I'm kind of, again, holding on to this until there's a champion chase, because that's 250 points for free that we can acquire. So I'm just trying to min-max and optimize a bit that I can. But I figured I'd go for it and see how many points I've got. The summoning events that are going on right now are pretty good as well. I mean, today's non-void one is not as good if you've already done the Arman's fusion. If you haven't, Arman's is amazing. But the void today is great with Odin and Arnon. Golden Gimli, this guy is pretty scary when he gets going. He's very, very strong. Pretty strong damage dealer. Absolutely worth considering. Yesterday, I think they had Volcanos, for example. Great champion to pick up. There's also summon pool going on. So if you didn't want to buy He-Man, you might be able to summon it from a Prism Shard. I mean, I'll be honest, it's far cheaper just to buy the pass than it is to buy any Prism Crystals to try and get He-Man. This one's a bit of a pull the wool over your eyes. But that being said, if you don't get He-Man, these champions are great, right? We've got Harima, probably the best non-void arena champion in the game. We've got Michinaki, kind of made his way back into the Hydra a bit now that they've made so many changes and made Hydra really, really boring. Wallmaster, exceptional AoE max HP. Probably in Hydra, the next best thing after sort of Acrizia and Marius and Newt is probably, I mean, I think he's better than Newt, to be honest, because he brings block buffs, which is a key thing, right? He brings block buffs, decreased attack. You can put him in a Slayer set like Marius, gets an extra turn, he gets lots of buffs going on himself. Very, very good. I'd imagine he's quite good in Chimera as well because max HP is doing really well in that game mode. So there's plenty of good champions here if you wanted to do it. And there's also currently there is a Sand Devil turn attack tournament for this. They did sneakily stick some Prism Crystals in the Soul Chase tournament. I'll be honest, very difficult to do this. Very difficult. In order for you to get this, you need to get lucky and get like a 6-star legendary or a 5-star mythical or something, right? You need, there's no boosts going on. It's just standard rates. That's really only for a spender. It's just for a spender. You're not going to really want to commit many soul stones for that particular event because there's no boost going on right now. There's nothing special happening at all. So yeah, we'll see what it goes. But there you go, guys. Just a quick video on the pass. I am working on the patch notes video for patch 10, including Chimera stats, including trial data, including everything about the relics, all the information about the changes that they've made in this update, and also some assessments on that new mythical champion, Empress. I know we won't get him very quickly, but it's good to know right up front if he's worth chasing, right? Your decision about how hard you push Chimera might determine, based on the champion for a lot of people, sometimes they go, it's just not worth chasing. I'm not really that excited about it, but I will have all that in a patch notes video that I'm currently working on. But there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.